SEC championship game gets home?
It was a game that went back and forth. You know, I literally been talked about just how this game comes down to a handful of plays, especially with great teams. It's going to come down to that most of the time. So it's the details that matter in games like this, and obviously handling. Every team's going to make plays, and how do you respond when they do? And it's going to be a 4-quarter battle. That's what it always is. So.
How much of the coaching staff do you know there is impressed with it?
Most of the offense, Coach Bobo recruited me, Coach Searles recruited me. Always stay in touch. Coach Searles, me and my dad and him have always been great friends. So I saw him when I was at Baylor a couple of times. So just always enjoyed seeing him on the road, and obviously trying to do the same thing.
Coach, go ahead.
As you're, I mean, you know the difference between, I guess, non-conference play and jump SEC play. Obviously, Georgia's kind of an outlier here. But how do you encourage your guys to be like, okay, this is the kind of skill that it takes to make that jump from, say, non-conference to SEC play in general? Yeah,
I think there's this air about it as you're going through your day. It's everybody starts to talk a little bit more. Everybody. They know the opponent probably a little bit more intimately with friends and things like that, and so that familiarity definitely creates that intensity. And guys were recruited obviously by both schools, being at this level, and so it's exciting. And I think that you see the guys being aware of that, but they embrace it and they enjoy it, and that's what you come here for.
Absolutely, and takeaways have been a prominent kind of aspect of this defense so far through the games, and I'm curious, like, for facing an offense that doesn't have a lot of takeaways, a lot of turnovers, like, what's been the encouragement over the course of these past few days to make sure you take advantage of any opportunities that Georgia offense gives you?
A lot of times what I'll do with my guys is show them NFL tape of, those are some of the best players in the world, and there's opportunities everywhere. You see them, it's just the ball. We talk about the ball speaking to us. It's a running back being in a pile, or a running back running a little bit loose in a certain situation. There's always that opportunities, and when they're there, in order for us we got to capitalize them in those moments. And we've been talking about that every game, but obviously these games, it really matters for an offense like that.
Who do you show them?
A lot. I'll show them T.J. Watt. We talked about him. Obviously, everybody loves Fred Warner. That's one that a lot of guys see naturally just because he's one of the best at doing it.
How big are the results of games like this from a recruiting perspective for you guys?
I think that it's a big deal because just the players that are going to be here and their families, and getting to see all the things that you tell them on the phone, and it's like, this is what it's going to be like, and the type of environment that I know our fan base is going to have. This is what you come here for, and I keep saying that, but that is what you dream of as a player, as a coach, for it to matter, and for people to want to show up in this capacity.
You mentioned Coach Bobo, and obviously knowing him a little bit. Does that give you an edge at all when kind of scheming for him now? And what do you kind of notice from his offense when you're trying to counter that stuff?
Obviously, just watching him, I've kept up with him, played him a couple different spots when he was at Colorado State. And just I see, you see a lot of things that he's done consistently, but he also does a great job of the players that he has. And any great coach is going to, tail his playbook to what those guys do best, and he always has done that, whether he has a Todd Gurley or an A.J. Green or the guys that he has on the team right now. He always finds a way, and that's a trademark of his, and obviously we're going to see that Saturday.
What did you see from Yhonzae that got him on the field early in that Wisconsin game?
I was proud of him. I've spent a lot of time from the spring to now talking to him about the details that it takes to play. I think a lot of times when you haven't played, in your mind you say, I can do the exact same thing that Dallas Turner's doing. And physically, we believe that he could. It's like, but the details to do it now, you get to come in and coach him up on those. I was really excited because I get to talk to him about the things that are going to matter when you get in those moments. And I was really proud of him to get in there and take advantage of that opportunity. He played quite a bit of play.
How have you seen vets like Q and Keanu handle having younger guys come up and play right away?
I told them it's going to be a group effort. I've always, whether when on my playing days or to now, I've always wanted multiple guys playing because, one, we plan on playing a long season, and so we want to have the depth. You're going to see the teams that have depth are going to be the teams that are able to compete and sustain, and that's been the sales pitch. And they bought in. They've seen that, hey, we all can go hunt refresh. We can do that for 4 quarters.
Q obviously showed up when he did get in the game later on there. with his the strip sack.
Yeah, strip sack. Yeah, that was an emphasis, and we had one against West Kentucky. We said that needs to be a ball out situation, and to do that, Coach Womack was proud, and we're continuing to vocalize that so it shows up on game day.
Do you feel like this can be a springboard game for the defense as a whole? Is this kind of like the statement game that you guys are looking for?
I'd say that whenever you are up against a great opponent, it can be something to validate the things that you say. Obviously, early in the season, there's a lot of growth that needs to be had, especially those first few games. Obviously, getting into conference play, that's what propels you in your league. And then if you win your league, you obviously get a chance to play for bigger things. So I think every game's important, but taking it one game at a time, this just happens to be a huge game and obviously a great opponent that everybody knows. So.
A lot of the guys yesterday talked about this will be a game that's won in the trenches. Kind of what role will your group play in that? What do you want to see from them kind of in that
being guys that are primarily on the edge, edge setting is something that any game, there's, I joke around with my wife and with our players, it's a game of math. And so if met with equal force, if we got a man in every gap, we got control of the line of scrimmages. So obviously gap integrity and being where we need to be with the type of physicality and presence that we need in the moment, whether in short yardage goal line or out in the open field, we have to detail that and make sure where we need to be when it matters most.
What stands out about Carson Beck when you watch him on film?
I mean, I had an interview yesterday just talking about how he is able to put the ball anywhere on the field. And I was on the scout team against Matthew Stafford, and I see a lot of those similar characteristics. And Aaron Murray, all those quarterbacks that have been there, and he can put the ball anywhere and at any time. And that's what makes a great quarterback. The throws that you say, hey, this is where the voids of a defense are, he can make those throws.
Coach Womack has kind of talked about, not falling for some of the eye candy that Georgia throws in their offense. What have you kind of done this week to sort of prepare for that and just, not letting your guys fall for any of the tricks, the motion, stuff like that?
I think a lot of it has to do with what things on a given play matter to me. I think that's anything. When you're confident, when you first get in the car and you start to drive as a young person, you're looking at everything. And as you get older and you get more comfortable, the same thing with playing the position that we play is where do I need to put my eyes? What is pertinent to me? And how do I respond when I see that? And veteran players do a great job of that. Younger guys, it's something that we have to stay on them every single day about eye control and performance.
Have any of the guys given you a hard time about your alma mater this week?
I mean, the day I walked in, they've always done that, which everywhere I've ever been, I don't know why. It's like, this is my tribe, this is where I'm at. I want my players here to have the opportunities to succeed and to play and perform. And so this is my group. I know I went to school there. This is where I'm at, and I want to see them succeed.
This is kind of a random question, but I think you've been wearing a light blue shirt for every game. Is that a superstition thing? Is that a signaling thing? Or
no, obviously that's what Charlie and Jeff and everybody in the equipment room want me to wear. I told them we're having a baby girl in November, so I'll switch to pink when that comes. So
Congratulations.
That's what I'm hoping for. So. Appreciate y'all.